All right, Matteo from Homesteading Italian. It's January in Jersey, and that's New Jersey for those of you not on the East Coast lingo. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the herd of Katahdin sheep I have in the back. Katahdin is a breed of sheep that are a hair sheep, which means they don't need to be sheared. Their coat kind of falls out in the spring. Now you will notice some of them have what looks to be wool, and that's because at some point they crossbred with a wool sheep. So I try to avoid that because I don't want to either learn how to shear or pay someone else to shear for me. So I try to stick with just pure Katahdins. We never put in a frost-free water source, so I have 5-gallon buckets here that every day I walk out. You know, there's a lot of jobs within homesteading that's where how they got the word chores. But, you know, I see these people in the gym walking around with dumbbells doing what's called farmer carries. And, you know, I have a built-in gym here doing this kind of thing. So I don't look upon it as a bad thing. So every morning I give them some water. I'm going to talk to you about hay. One of the sheep had a abscess within its hoof, which means a fancy word for it got infected. Had the vet out. $170 later, I thought I was done, but the vet gave me 3 syringes to give the ewe that was having problems some shots. So you'll see a clip of how I put the sheep on its rump and inject. I wish you would be quiet. Inject it. Right. We had 2 babies born, and you'll see my wife giving it bottle feeding, and I think she does it 4 or 5 times a day. She's much better at it than I am, and you'll notice that in the footage. And then I'm going to take you into the sheep yard and show you some of the other things we do. I better get going because these guys are getting pretty upset. All right, I'm in one of our hoop houses. We use hoop houses actually as makeshift structures. I guess it's not so makeshift, but it's not a barn. And on one side we store the winter bales of hay, and then on the other side we use it for, in this case, moms with their babies, kind of as a birthing nursing area. When you get hay for sheep, you want to get what's called second cutting. There's 2 cuttings, first cutting and second cutting. The first cutting tends to be more woody types of plant material, and the sheep in general are really finicky eaters. So you want to get second cutting because it has softer woody tissue, and the sheep don't turn their nose up at it and waste a lot of feed. So I'm going to get probably half a bale for the group of sheep we have now. I'll show you how we put it out in the manger and then talk about some other things. All right, no matter how good you might think you're going to become or you are with fences and things like that, sheep are going to get their way out of it. So having them used to feeding on grain is a quick way of getting them to go back to wherever you wanted them to be. I always give them grain during the winter, not very much during the summer months, but definitely always in the winter because they're birthing and I need some extra supplements for them. So what I do around the beginning of December all the way into January is I'll take the feed and I'll pour it in a bucket such as this. And then we took all our garlic tops, which I'll show you later, and we dry them, and then I take them to a friend of mine who has it's like a giant agricultural processing machine that just grinds. It's like a food mill, and I'll show you that in operation. Once the garlic tops have sufficiently dried, I brought them to my friend Mike's place, and he fed them into this industrial-sized grinder. It really pulverized them and would spit them out into a bag that I eventually brought back to the farm. We grind up all the garlic tops, and I mix it in with the feed, and it acts as a natural dewormer for the sheep. So I don't have to give them any kind of purchased medication. It's all natural. So anyway, every morning I come in and I put in maybe 2 cups of this ground up garlic, and this is what it looks like. And I mix that up, and for about a month they munch on this each morning, and we don't have any worm problems. So there's another little tip for you. Garlic tops, dried, ground up, mixed in feed, a natural dewormer. All right, I'm going to show you some tricks of the trade. Sheep always want to get out. They're not as bad as goats, but they want to get out. So I'm going to show you like means of the madness. So I'm going to take the mixture of grain, which they absolutely love. I'm going to go in. I'm going to put it in their trough, which gets them all occupied on that. Then that allows me to wheel in the wheelbarrow with the hay so they don't do an escape route on me. The other thing we do, you'll notice when I put the hay in the manger, sheep waste a lot of hay, but we turn that into something useful because I'll bring in the tractor, back scoop it over to that pile, which is a active compost pile. So I'm taking the hay that they don't consume, putting it into a compost that we're going to use later in the warmer summer months. But during the winter, the sheep all congregate on top of the compost pile because it's hot, and it's kind of like a thermal blanket for them. While they're doing all the eating the hay and the grain, that's when I slip in and I pour the water in their water trough. So let me show you how this works.
Yep.
Now they're all pretty occupied, so I can open the gate nice and wide, get my wheelbarrow in, come over to the manger, right now they're not caring about me, and more importantly, they're not caring about that open gate. Then I'll come over and I'll get my water, and it's kind of easy peasy lemon squeezy. And that's a wrap for the morning chores for the sheep. We will show you a clip of my wife feeding them, which is another job that, like I said, has to be done 5 times a day, and thank goodness for her.
Oh, good girl. happy. Banging at the door. Oh, good girl.
When you're feeding the babies, it takes some patience to get them to latch on to the bottle and learn how to drink from the bottle, which you'll see in the video. Animals on a homestead is a commitment, and this is done 365 days. Doesn't matter the weather, and we love it, but it's definitely a part of the rhythm of the farm. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, write some comments, let us know that you're appreciating it, and we'll see you on the next episode. Matteo from Homesteading Italian. Have a great day.